Spiritual creatives, are you ready to release the stranglehold of that whole poverty consciousness thing? That's what we're here to talk about today. Money, 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 money. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, we're going to talk about that whole new thought, ancient wisdom idea of abundance and how it relates to money. And yes, it does relate to money. We're going to talk about some real life inspired stories by some folks that we all know and have heard of, at least that about their money experiences and how we can embrace a sustainable spiritual mindset that lets money flow. So welcome to New Thought Tuesdays. And ladies and gentlemen, my partner in spiritual joy, Rich Smith, is joining, of course. Hey, Rich.
Hey. Hi. So let me ask you guys something, a little peeps out there. Is your creativity and your finances not congruent? Are they not matching up? If that's the case, then we're going to dive deep today in abundance and prosperity, I guess, right? Money, abundance and prosperity can also come in other things too. And for me, it's been my art, my creativity, and my life with my family and all of that. But money matters. Right? Money matters. So let's dive into this, Dean.
Well, okay. So how about starting with one of your stories, Rich? We all have money stories. And we're here, Rich and I are here to just share some of our stuff with you and some stuff we've researched and some stuff that we just know. As far as a story, Rich, that you have come to understand, a money story with spirit. Do you have anything you want to share with us? A story that
I have tons of stories. We were talking about one the other day. What was it we were talking about, Dean?
the one that you were talking about was you when you got that job
okay. Yeah. So I have a company that I freelance as a videographer in this company. And I was always struggling with finances and stuff. And then when something would come up and like the clients weren't hiring me as much, I'd start to get worried. And the more I worried about it, the more I got down that road of poverty and not being able to succeed. And so what happened is my wife and I, we do this stuff. It's prayer treatments, and we also affirm. And she's always on my case and stuff. It's like, well, why don't you ask for more money? And you know, all of these things. Well, anyways, you know, we get into prayer about it. And then one day, a client called me and he said, one of my videographers is leaving town, and I need somebody to kind of take his place, and you'll get more work out of it and stuff like that. And I'm going, oh my God, that's a demonstration, because we just got through praying about it and talking about it. And so something opened up there, but even greater than that. And here's the thing that I want to point out here is that infinite intelligence, divine presence, the infinite filmmaker, whatever you want to call it, has your back, and it's going to bring you something even greater than you could imagine. Right, Dean? I mean, isn't that the way it happens? It's always greater than you can imagine.
And the thing of it is, it's not even a gonna. As you are open to it, you experience that it is now unfolding. And in this case, you kind of jumped over a large part of this story, Rich, which was you said yes to this guy who was, well, first off, I love how your wife really knocks you lovingly upside the head, and together you guys get back into the spiritual alignment. Yeah. That's what beloved community does. That's perfectly great. That's what we do here at New Thought Tuesday. We lovingly knock one another upside the head and go, okay, shall we focus on the spiritual principles that we know to be the truth? And what you did, and then this job came. Well, then you have this job, and the ownership of the job changes, so that not only do you have this new job, but now you have even more money, even more work than you had before this whole change took place.
Yeah. So let me talk a little bit about that because that's where I was going with this.
Okay.
It always comes greater than you can imagine. I thought, oh, this is great. I got one of my clients is going to use me more and stuff like that. Well, almost immediately afterwards, he sold his company to this big conglomerate, and they started hiring me every day, 5 days a week. And I was making so much money. I was making bank. And the kind of job it was just really simple. I could still do my filmmaking and my art and creativity and all of that. And I could still earn a lot of money at the same time because they were paying me big bucks by the hour. And I was just working, a couple of hours a day, 3, 4, 5 hours a day. It was great. And I still had time to do my creativity. So that's how the universe supported me. It was able to bring me something even greater than I could have ever imagined. And so the point of this that I'm trying to make is that if you sit in a consciousness of lack and limitation, you're going to go down that road. You're going to get more of it. You have to, through prayer and affirmations and meditation, you have to bring yourself up in alignment with your highest good, which is abundance and prosperity, doing what you love. And so we're going to talk about some of that stuff too.
I got a quick story. Thank you for that one, Rich. I love that story. I love how there's fear, doubt, and worry. Then there's, oh, wait, I could have had a V8. God is present. Focus on God. Gently allow. The doors open. Keep focusing on God, knowing this is happening now and unfolding in perfection. Oh, even more doors open. Oh, fabulous. And not only do I get this job that's bringing me all this cash, but I'm also, in addition, doing additional creative things. In my particular case, I was introduced many years ago to a John Randolph Price book called Abundance. It's a really tiny little book. It's barely put in. It's a pocket-sized book. Maybe cost me $3.95. And it's a program filled with affirmations, and it's a program where you meditate for X amount of days. I think 40 days. I've done it 3 times now. And it was the kind of program that really allowed me to quietly affirm the truth of the spirit, that Christ consciousness, that abundance within me so easily and effortlessly. It was a valuable program. It's kind of how we like to base our programs here at New Thought Tuesdays, is that we want our programs to be as effective for folks as this program was for me, John Randolph Price, the Abundance book. And this in conjunction with, I had a spiritual counselor, a spiritual practitioner that I was working with, and it busted open my whole money consciousness. It busted open my whole money consciousness. I recognized that money is part of the flow, part of the joy, part of the ease. And ever since, it just keeps flowing. The money keeps flowing. The money just keeps flowing. And I'm very grateful for this. And this is I went from a poverty consciousness with a deep desire to allowing that prosperity consciousness to come in. Yeah. And we've all got these potential for these limiting beliefs. It's a list of them. There's the money is evil thing, the selling out fear, the I'm not business minded belief. There's the success is rare mindset, that money equals happiness misconception. There's the I'm really not good enough for this, or that whole feast and famine cycle. Money, it's either comes in feast or famine. Creativity and money, they just don't mix. Blah, 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 blah. And there's a few that we wanted to touch on briefly that seem to have a hold, and they're just, how do I say this? They're just bullshit. I'm sorry, I don't swear on New Thought Tuesdays, but these thoughts sometimes are just like, knock them out. Knock them out. Why don't you go with the first one, Rich?
The starving artist mentality. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna be truthful and honest with all you guys out there. It was great. I was making tons of money, working every day for this new company. Then COVID hit. Okay, so and I lost everything. Right, I had no business for like 2 years until we came out of COVID, and so building my business back up again. It's like, did I have that mentality of lack of limitation? No. During the COVID, we went out and bought a camper van. We traveled around. We really enjoyed ourselves. We said, hey, look, let's make the most of this and enjoy life. And I think that's what it's all about. It's just enjoy what you're doing and don't worry about the money, because infinite intelligence always takes care of you. It's always watching your back. And we're going to talk about this too, Dean, in the inner circle, that there's no limitations to money. The only limitations are the ones that you hold in your own mind. And so we had to break through that with by going out and buying a van and traveling and doing things that we really enjoy doing. So continue doing your art and your creativity, even though we have challenges right now like the writer's strike and the actors strike going on. And that can bring up a lot of fear from the back to the starving artist again. Oh my God, I've been really doing well as a writer, and now all of a sudden the strike hit and I'm not making any money. What's going on? And so you got to get rid of that mentality that, you know, you're the starving artist, because there's opportunity being open. When COVID hit, we both started our online companies. So there's opportunities out there. The infinite intelligence always takes care of you. You know, my wife did her teaching of art, after school art, online, and I created my coaching business, and it pushed me more forward into doing my coaching business. During that 2 years, I was able to build a coaching business, which is what I really wanted to be doing, not the video stuff at this point in my life. So anyways, that's my thing on the starving artist.
There's that starving artist mentality. Then there's that whole, you're speaking about the strike and everything, that whole lack of control mentality where, you know, we're in the entertainment industry and, you know, there's above the line and there's below the line, and the people with the power are above the line and the people with not so much of the power and that's kind of below the line. The people that are really in control. Hey, there is one life. That life is Spirit's life. That life is my life now. There is one life. There is not multiple powers. There's only one flow of control, and that is that spirit. And it's raising our perspective from the ant on the street to being able to see the whole picture of what's going on. That's what spiritual awareness is really elevating your perspective from that no perspective at all and feeling totally vulnerable to a great perspective where you can embrace the apparent unpredictable nature of our business and know that change is good. Change is always coming, and your creativity continues to change, and your ability to step up and show up and be in the right place at the right time with your divine right relationships is absolutely certain as you believe it to be.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Dean. Also, that belief of I'm not worthy enough, you know, the low self-esteem, the feelings of unworthiness. And I go through it too with the, what is that syndrome? The
imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome when I'm creating Facebook ads and all of that kind of stuff. So, you know, that's another thing. I'm not worthy enough. I know when I was at my prime as a filmmaker, producing films, and also as a cinematographer, I always worked with independent filmmakers. I never really went for the union jobs or anything like that. And a lot of it was low self-esteem, I think. And I felt comfortable working with independent filmmakers where there was not a lot of pressure and stuff. I didn't really have a lot of faith in myself as a filmmaker and videographer. Although the stuff that I shot for them was like incredible, even though it was low budget and I only had like 4K lights, you know, a couple of Minkies and Tweenies, and didn't have much to work with, but the stuff I did was incredible. But the low self-esteem really destroyed me. And so you got to value your work. You know, I'm going through that now with my coaching business. I'm starting to create programs and I'm charging a lot of money for them because I'm worth it. What I do, what Dean does and I do are worth it. And so, you know, feeling that you're worthy, that what you have to offer is unique and perfect for, you know, for who you are.
But Rich, I'm sorry. It's great. I'm glad you're saying all this. It's good to know that. But you know, it's just too late for you. That's the next belief. It's just too late. Oh, it's just too late. I'm 36. I should have done. I'm 54. I'm 72. It's too late for the older creatives and even some of the younger creatives might think that it's too late. I mean, some people can't get a date, don't think they're going to get a date when they're over 30 years old. Okay, folks, it's never too late to build on your self-belief, your spiritual practice, and it's something that you'll always be doing. So these misconceptions that come along, we hold them, and in the inner circle today, that's where we get together and we discuss how that spiritual okay, if this is the case and this is how we believe it, what do we do? How do we incorporate that? That's what we're going to talk about today in our inner circle. And if you want to become a part of our inner circle, all you have to do is go to newthoughttuesdays.com and click on I want to be reminded, and we'll send you the link and you can join us in the inner circle, and we will talk about your relationship with the current topic. Today, it's money, 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 money. But, we go to these, there are people like, there are great stories out there, like Jim Carrey's got a story, Oprah Winfrey's got a story, Tyler Perry's got a story. And regardless of your personal point of view of these personalities, they are calling out and saying, hey, I used, for instance, Jim Carrey's story, he used visualization.
Yeah. Love that story.
He often talks about the power of visualization. And that's the story where he wrote a check to himself for $10 million for acting services rendered. And he put it in his pocket, post-dated, for 5 years in the future. And it came true. His visualizing of what his divine desire was, and his focusing on it over and over and over, and his releasing to it, for him, in his experience, it came true. What about the Oprah Winfrey story?
We'll talk about Oprah. Let's talk about Jim Carrey for a second, though. What is it, Dean, and this is what we can talk about in the inner circle, what is it that when you write your check for $10 million and stick it in your wallet, that makes that come true later on? Is that just building his belief and his faith? Or was it, I know Jim Carrey now is a very spiritual person. As a matter of fact, he works more with, doing lectures and talks. I did a behind the scenes interview with him once for this group. And he's definitely more spiritual. That spiritual aspect of him came through his acting. But, what was it? Why is it that you can write a check for $10 million, vision it, see it, and then experience it? The miracle, there's a miracle layer that happens.
My sense of that is that there is it's almost like an icon, that energy, that abundance energy is like wind blowing leaves. And the leaves are the manifestation, the money, the cash, the jobs, whatever, the checks. But you breathe into yourself this awareness, this belief, this trust, this expressing your creativity that you believe in. It's not the check. It's not that it occurred the time he wrote the check and it had to write the check. The check was an icon of expressing his ability to say, I'm focused on this. These are my words, not Mr. Carey's, in love. I'm focused in this in contribution. I'm focused on this in possibility. I'm focused on this on infinite possibility, $5 million worth of possibility. And this check, this icon of the check, is just part of that ride.
I take a little more a spiritual approach to that, where his thoughts become things. And because he's connected to infinite intelligence, which is the source of all supply, we talked about that earlier, where I know it was the master over 2,000 years ago who said, you have no power over me unless my Father above has given it to you. And so the source of our income is not the person that hires us. The source of my income was not this client who sold his company and then this other company hired me and gave me 5 days a week of work. That's not the source of the income. The source is divine presence, is God, is infinite intelligence taking care of you. And the whole thing about the $10 million in his wallet is just him putting out a message to the universe that I believe, and it's measured according to your belief, I believe that I am going to make $10 million by such and such a date. And that belief was clarified by writing the check out and sticking it in his wallet. And I think infinite intelligence, the universe, that's what the universe wants. That's what the infinite filmmaker wants, you to meet him halfway. Or I call it it. It's a force, it's a power. To meet it halfway by taking action, writing the check out, visioning for it, meditating on it, see it in your mind's eye. If you can't see your success in your mind's eye, it ain't going to happen. You have to be able to feel it and see it and take action towards it.
Well, I'm feeling it. I'm seeing it. I'm taking actions toward it. I love that, Rich. Absolutely. That is my truth as well. And I think it's time for us to go into the inner circle, because we got people to talk to. We got stories to share. And we are grateful that you are here with us on social media. We're grateful for the people that are here with us in the inner circle. And we're going to get to that. Hey, money, 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 money.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
We're going to talk all about it. Hey, and also too, here at New Thought Tuesdays, we have this great program that we want to offer you free of charge. There's no charge. It's called our 5-day Tapping Confidence Challenge. So go to newthoughttuesdays.com and click on that. You will have 5 days of this confidence tapping. It's a marvelous. I'm going to take it again this week. I'm determined to take it again because I love this program. So we recommend that you go there, newthoughttuesdays.com, and do the 5-day Tapping Confidence Challenge.
Yeah. And while you're there, fill out the reminder form, and we'll send you a reminder every week when we come live on New Thought Tuesdays, just so that you remember to jump in and join us.
Yep.
Okay. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Yep.
Okay. Take care. Bye.